So the next segment we're going to go through will be our dynamic warm-up. Now let's go over some of the goals that we want to accomplish while going through our warm-up. The first being improve your mobility or flexibility. Let's increase range of motion in areas that you may not have it, or build stability in end ranges of motion where you may lack it. In terms of when injury happens, it's usually when we're at our end range of motion. Like if the shoulder gets hurt, the arm may be really outstretched during that injury. Or if it's closer to our body, we're going to be safer. We want to build stability at these end ranges. The second is going to be learning to use certain muscles that we want to go use and load and train during our workout. Next, we want to learn different movement patterns, become efficient and proficient in those in our warm-up so that we can train with them at higher intensities in a safer manner when it comes time for working out. And lastly, it's just the general physiological goals of a warm-up in terms of increasing your heart rate. You want to prepare your joints and muscles and tendons to be able to kind of withstand and be ready for all the work that you're about to do, and kind of activate your nervous system, get you prepared to go have a hard workout safely. So let's go through some of our warm-ups right now. We're going to have a list of 8 different warm-ups. We'll take some time with them now. The better you get at them, the faster you'll be able to kind of roll through and move through these. So our first one we're going to do is a positional breathing exercise. We're going to do a floor slide with some breath. So here we're going to work on lengthening the pecs, increasing your shoulder mobility, working on some breathing patterns. So we're going to be on your back. Make sure that low back's on the floor, knees are bent, feet are flat. We'll drop your hands up to the side, so back of your hands hit the floor. If you're not able to do that, just hover them wherever you feel most comfortable. And here we're going to take a big breath in through your nose. Slide up on the back of your hands, fingertips reach up, breathe out. Bring the elbows back down a little below 90 degrees. Low back stays down, breath in. Reach up, feel a stretch through the pecs, breathe out. Reach down, bring it 8 breaths. Right here. All right, so the next one we're going to do will be a 90-90 hip stretch. We're going to stretch your hip into both external and internal rotation. So we're going to get set up in this 90-90 position. We're going to draw your 90 from hip to knee to heel on your lead leg. So this my left leg here will be my lead leg. You're going to draw that 90 on your trail leg. My right leg is the trail leg. Start your 90s at your hip. If you start from out here, we may be a little bit shy and the stretch won't be as effective. Once we have that 90, we'll stretch over your lead leg or your externally rotated leg first. So hand on each side of your knee, chest is tall, and you're going to wedge yourself down. So the abs are going to squeeze, elbows are going to bend, you're going to pull yourself down. As you pull down, you should be feeling a good stretch through the outer hip. And we're going to hold this for 8 breaths. So I'll work with you here. In through your nose, long breath out, through your mouth, feeling a stretch, through that outer hip. You can start to wedge yourself deeper into it. You can maintain a good spine position in terms of staying tall and not rounding. Okay, I'm going to come back up top. We're going to work over the internally rotated leg. So here we want one hand to kind of slide around the front of your hip or your pocket. Other hand can be anywhere around your shin. Chest is tall. Drop your armpit down towards that pocket. You should feel a stretch under your hand. Same thing, we'll hold this for breaths. So 8 breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You want to try to work and push that lead knee down as well. If we can't, that's fine if it hovers, but we'll try to work hard to keep it down. If it's hovering, you can always put an object underneath it. Kind of bring the floor up to meet you to keep you in a better position and make the stretch more effective. So after we've got our 8 breaths there, we're just going to flip. You can kind of ease out of it and get set up on the other side. Hip to knee to heel, 90 lead leg. Hip to knee to heel, 90 trail leg. Hand to each side of the knee, 8 breaths here. You're trying to stretch through that outer hip. Wedge yourself deeper if you feel like you can to drive a bigger stretch. I'm going to come out of it, stretch over that internally rotated leg, Hand around the pocket, hand around the shin, chest is up nice and tall, armpit drops down, in through your nose, out through your mouth. 8 good breaths right here. You should feel that stretch underneath your hand, through the front, through the inside of that hip. Awesome, guys, and we'll ease out of that. There's our 90-90 hip stretch. We're going to do a bird dog next. We're going to use this to work on learning how to keep your spine in a good position. When we train, we want to make sure we're nice and neutral, meaning we're not too flexed or rounded or not overextended. We're going to train your abs and shoulders from here. So knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. We want to find that neutral position, meaning that we're not really arched, we're not really rounded, we're right in the middle. The abs squeeze and brace. You should feel the abs working to solidify and maintain that position. From here, let's just imagine you have a glass of water on your low back. And if you overarch or rotate too much, that glass of water will fall off. So you have to maintain stillness through the low back to keep that keep that glass of water on. From there, opposite arm and leg, we'll reach out. Thumb to the ceiling, we'll breathe out, feel the abs pick up work. We're going to alternate sides for 8 of the sides right here. Low back still, keep that glass of water on. Feel the abs work as you're reaching out with opposite arm and leg. All right, guys, here's our bird dog. Next one, we're going to do a half kneeling hip flexor stretch. So from here, we're going to take a step forward. We want to be able to draw our 90 degrees again from this position. So hip to knee, knee to heel, hip to knee to heel. Both hands push into that front knee. You want to tuck your back hip. So belt line pulls up, squeeze your butt and abs, hands push down. As we tuck that hip and squeeze your butt and abs, you should feel a stretch through the front of that trail leg. Once you have that, we're going to hold it for breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth for 8 breaths. If you lose the stretch, it means you probably lost your hip position or tuck. So re-tuck, belt line up, back pocket down, squeeze butt and abs. Then we'll switch. We'll do the same thing on the other side, hip to knee to heel. Take the arch out of the low back, tuck the hip, squeeze your butt and abs, hands push down to secure that. 8 breaths, feeling stretch through the front of that trail leg. Awesome, guys. Okay, so the next one we're going to do a cradle hold to a lateral lunge. We're going to stand up now. For cradle hold, one hand's going to go outside of your knee, other at your ankle. We're going to hold and balance and feel a stretch through the outer hip. You want to make sure that your knee stays inside of your body. So we're not pushing here because that torques the knee joint a little bit too much. So outside knee, outside ankle, knee inside your body, pull up, stride out, knee bent, curling straight, butt back, hands out. And we're going to hit 5, one direction. Holding, feeling a stretch on the inside of that trail leg. Hold and balance while that knee is up. And then we'll hit 5 in the other direction, guys. So other side, outside knee, outside ankle. Lead knee bent, trail knee straight. To get better movement in your hips, think for every inch your hands reach out, your butt's pushing back. Should be driving a good stretch through the inside of that trail leg. Okay. Next, we're going to go through an in-place Spiderman. So here we'll be in a push-up position. Squeeze butt and abs like a plank. One hand's going to step to the side, make sure that heel's planted. Back knee lowers down, chest is tall. So if somebody were to be in front of you, they should be able to see that logo on your shirt. It shouldn't be pointed to the floor. When you're here, lift the hips up, get a stretch through the hamstring on that front leg. Re-lower, whatever knee is down. That arm opens up. When you're here, have the elbow push into your knee to keep it still. Back down, back to push-up position. We're going to hit 3 on one side. So here's my 2. Feel the abs work. Lift up hamstring stretch. Re-tap the knee, eyes follow that moving hand nice and slow. Then back to the start. Then I'll show you 3 on the other side. Open up, eyes follow. Back to push-up position. Chest is tall. Be nice and smooth here. Don't yank on that shoulder. And here will be our 3rd and final. Okay. So So for our last warm up right here, we're going to do just a single leg deadlift. We're going to get athletic position. We're going to go ball of your foot off your heel, good soft knee bend. You're going to reach that back foot back. Reach your hands forward. Keep that hip squared down to the floor. We should feel hamstrings and glutes on that down leg. And then come back up. Here we're going to alternate sides for 3 a side. Feel a hamstring stretch. Feeling that glute doing some work. Holding nice and balanced. If we need to regress this, if you're balanced or having a hard time with, just keep that back foot planted. Hands reach out, butt pushes back. Same thing, 3 a side there. If being on that just one leg is challenging for your balance.